let's talk about loops. So loops are blocks of code which execute repeatedly. So these blocks are going to execute over and over until either a condition is met, the first kind of loop we're going to talk about, or it's reached the end of how long it should execute, the second kind. So the first kind of loop we're going to talk about is a while loop. And a while loop is one that executes as long as the Boolean expression is true. So this loop will keep running over and over and over again as long as the Boolean expression is true. So you have to be very careful with while loops because they could just go on forever and never stop. And so you want to think about, like, is your condition going to be that it stops or not? So when you're doing a while loop, what it's going to look like is it's going to say that word while. It's going to have the condition and then the colon to make your loop. And then remember, on the next line, anytime you make a block of code, this is your indented block. So this is all the stuff that's going to happen inside that loop. So if I look at this first example here, this code starts by setting a variable for count and setting it equal to 5. It's a while loop. It has that word while in it. Here's my condition, while count is greater than 0. And here's my indented block of code. And so anytime the count is greater than 0, it's going to do these two things. It's going to print the word welcome, and then it's going to do count minus equals 1. And then it's going to go back, and it's going to look at the beginning of the while loop again. It's going to check that condition to see if it's true or not. If it's true, it's going to execute again. So this might be a new operator that you haven't seen before. Plus equals or minus equals. These add or subtract a value to the variable. So when I say plus equals 1, this adds or subtracts 1 to the variable. If I say minus equals 2, for instance, it's going to add or subtract 2 to that variable. So when we're running this block of code, we can see that the value of count goes down by 1 each time. And so we're going to start and we're going to run this. And if we were thinking about what happened in Python Tutor, when we say count equals 5, it's making this box over here and it's putting the value of count in there as 5. And now it's checking this Boolean condition here at the beginning of the loop. It says while count is greater than 0. 5 is greater than 0, so we're going to run that loop. So if we think about this being my output screen, it's going to print the word welcome. It's going to lower the count by 1. So count is going to change its value to 4. And now it's going to go back to the top here and check and see, is the condition true? So 4 is greater than 0, true. So it's going to run that block of code again. Print the word welcome. Change the value of count down to 3. And then go back and check. 3 is greater than 0, so same thing. Print the word welcome. Change the value of count down to 2, and go back and check again. 2 is greater than 0, so print the word welcome, change the value of count down to 1, and check again. 1 is greater than 0, so print the word welcome, change the value of count down to 0, and check one more time, and 0 is not greater than 0. So now I am done executing that block. I am at the end of my code down here, and in here, in this red box here, is what the program would have printed out for you. So it would print out that word welcome 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So this block, this while loop, is one that you want to run as long as a certain condition is met. So use a while loop if you want to run whenever a certain condition is met.